Okay. Introduction to equation solving. Below we have 2x plus 1 equals 4. This picture illustrates this. 2x, that's what these boxes are, plus 1 equals 4. When we see this equation, we want to find what x is. Let's do this. So what we would do is, step 1, you want to get the x by itself on one side. Oh, they are already answering the question. Okay, we have 2x equals 3. So from there, you would want to divide each side by 3 to isolate the x. By 2. That is not correct. Undo. Divide each side by 2 to isolate the x. 2 divided by 2 crosses out to 1. Correct. The answer is 3 over 2, or 1.5. Good job, Sen. Okay. Consider the equation below. X plus 2 equals 5. You want to subtract 2 from each side, so you isolate the x, you get it alone. X equals 3. The solution is x equals 3. That is to say that there are 3 marbles inside the box to keep the scales balanced. Here's the x, here's the 3. Solve the equation. M plus 4 equals 7. Draw scales to represent the equation. So on one scale you have m, on the other side you have 3, because you are subtracting 4 from each side to have m by itself. There are 3 marbles in the box to keep the scales balanced. Hence, m equals 3. How many marbles can we remove from both sides? 4. M plus 4 equals 7. So you subtract the 4 from each side. M equals 3. What goes in the box? Solve the following equations. You already kind of have the answers, but we're going to work through them. Okay, so for the first one, you would subtract 8 from each side to have the x by itself. So x equals 6. X minus 8, 14 minus 8. X is 6. To find t, you subtract 10 from both sides, so you have the t alone. T equals 8. Number 3, you subtract 3 from both sides to have the w alone. W equals 9. Number 4, go ahead and subtract the 7 from both sides. H equals 13. Number 5, subtract 14 from both sides. F equals 20. B, number 6, find B. Subtract 13 from both sides. In all of these, you want the variable, which is the B, or the F, or the X. You want it alone, because that will tell you B equals 19. For number 7, you just subtract 70 from both sides. And below we see G equals 40. And so in number 8, same thing. We're simply subtracting 27 from both sides to get the S by itself. S equals 47. Now, more than one box. Solve the equation 3x equals 9. You can draw scales to represent the equation. Here's the x, and this is going to be the number of marbles that need to equal it. What you would do to find this is, again, we want to isolate the x. Get the x by itself, so we have x equals. You divide by whatever the integer in front of the x is. So when we divide 3x by 3, it crosses out to 1. So 1x, and whatever we do to this side, we have to do the same thing to this side. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. The answer is x equals 3. There are 3 marbles in each box. So this x is a box of marbles. We know that there are 3 marbles inside it. If there are 9 marbles in 3 boxes, how many are in 1 box? 3. 9 marbles in 3 boxes. How many are in 1 box? This is the equation we're looking at. Okay, what goes in the box? Part 2. So for number 1, who can tell me what you divide each side by? 2. Correct, Tangi. I don't know what your name is. You divide both sides by 2 because, again, you want to isolate that f. So you cross out 2 divided by 2 is 1, so we have f equals, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. Perfect. Now in number 2, what do we divide each side by? 3, correct. 3m divided by 3 becomes 1m. And whatever we do to this side, we also have to do to this side. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. Now in number 3, what do we divide each side by? 4! Oh, look at all those answers. 4, correct. So we have t equals 3. Okay, and number 4, we are going to divide by what? 6, correct. We divide each side by 6. We want to get this letter alone. So we have k equals 4. In number 5, we're dividing by 5. In number 6, we're dividing by 9. So 45 divided by 5 is 9. 54 divided by 9 is 6. Okay, solve this equation. 2x plus 4 equals 12. We're combining the two things we just did. First, how many marbles can be removed from both sides? 4. The first thing we do is remove the extra marbles. Here's the extra, plus 4. So we want to subtract 4 from each side. That gives us the equation 2x equals 8. When you subtract 4 from this side and 4 from this side, 12 minus 4 is 8, and 2x plus 4 minus 4 just becomes 2x. Now, part 2. If 2 boxes contain 8 marbles, 2 boxes, 8 marbles, how many marbles are in one box? So all you do is divide both sides by this 2 to get rid of it. 2 divided by 2 crosses out to 1x, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. There are 4 marbles in each box. Okay. solve the equation. How many marbles can you remove from both sides? The first thing you do, you look at this plus 5. We want to get rid of that. Subtract both sides by 5. That gives us 3x 17 minus 5 equals 12. Step 2. If 3 boxes contain 12 marbles, then how many marbles are in one box? What do we divide each side by? What are we dividing each side by in this equation? Three, correct. 3 divided by 3 crosses out to 1. And 12 divided by 3 is 4. There are 4 marbles in each box. Okay. This is 1 through 8 of these combined equations. The first thing we do in number 1 is subtract each side by what number? What number? Correct. Subtract by 6, which gives us 2h equals 14. And then we divide by this 2, crossing that side out and giving us h equals 7. In number 2, to subtract what number from each side? 11, correct. Giving us 3n equals 15. Now we want the n by itself. We divide each side by what number? Correct, 3, giving us n equals 5. In number 3, subtract each side by 5. Uh-oh. Okay, sorry. Hello again. So in number 3, we subtract 5 from each side, giving us 4w equals 24. We want to divide by 4, so we get this w by itself. W equals 6. In number 4, subtract what number from each side? 3, correct. So 7t equals 28. T equals 4. Number 5, the same thing. The first thing we do is subtract 14 from each side, giving us 4r equals 12. Divide each side by 4. R equals 3. Subtract each side by 21. 8f equals 16. F equals 2. Subtract 32 from each side in number 7. 6a equals 12. A equals 2. 32 from each side. 9p equals 27. Divide each side by this 9. P equals 3. Now solving equation with subtractions. Very similar to addition. You can draw the scales to represent the equation. Again, so this is the y, and this is the number we're trying to find. Take away 3 means, the takeaway 3, this right there, means that 3 marbles have fallen out of a box. If you place the 3 fallen marbles back in the box, what must you do to the other side of the balance? Uh-oh. Am I doing that? It keeps flashing back and forth between the slides. Okay, it's fine. So the first thing we're going to do, if we see a subtraction right here, 2y minus 3, you're going to add that to both sides. So you have plus 3 on this side and plus 3 on that side, giving you 2y equals 10. You're going to divide each side by the 2 again. You want to get the y by itself. The answer is 5. There are 5 marbles in each box. Further examples. In 3m minus 7 equals 11. The first thing we do is we need this 7 to be added to both sides. So plus 7 on this side, plus 7 on that side. 3m equals 18. As we were doing before, we want to get the m by itself. Divide each side by 3. M equals 6. The first thing you do is add the subtracted marbles. So if there was a minus 7 here, you need to add 7. And then you add the 7 on the other side as well. Whatever we do to this side needs to be done to the other side as well. Now, what goes in the box? Part 4. In number 1, what is the first thing we're going to do to the equation? The very first thing. Plus 5, correct. Not subtract 5, plus 5. You add 5 to both sides. So giving us 3n equals 6. N equals 2. Number 2, what's the first thing we do? Plus 8, correct. We add 8 to both sides. 4f equals 20. Divide each by 4 and we get f equals 5. Number 3, what's the first thing we're going to do? Add 17, correct. So we have 5h equals 30. What do we divide each side by? 5, correct. H equals 6. Good job. Number 4, what do we add both sides? Correct, add 21. 2k equals 52. What do we divide each side by? 2. Correct. K equals 26. The first thing we do in number 5 is add what number? Add 7. Correct. We have 6d equals 18. What do we divide each side by? 6. Correct. D equals 3. Number 6. What do we do to both sides? I forgive you for being late. Perfect. Add 14. 7r equals 35. What do we divide? Oh, you're ahead of me. Look at that. Divide each side by 7. R equals 5. In number 7, what do we add to both sides? Perfect. Add 21. Giving us 8v equals 56. Divide what number from both sides? 8. Perfect. We want the v to be on its own. V equals 7. Now number 8, what do we do to both sides? Perfect. Add 26. Giving us 9p equals 54. What do we do to both sides? Perfect. Divide by 9. P equals 6. Now, more complex equations. We want to find 4m minus 2 equals m plus 7. First thing you do, you add the 2 to both sides. You want to get rid of this minus 2. So when you add the 2 to both sides, you have 4m equals m plus 9. Now you want all of the m's on one side. So you need to subtract this side from 1, and whatever you do to this side, you have to do to this side. So minus m on both sides gives you 3m equals 9. From here, it's the same as we were doing before. You divide each side by 3, giving you m equals 3. So the first thing, how many marbles can you put back? 2. 2 have fallen out. You need to put them back. So you add 2 to both sides, giving you this 4m equals m plus 9. How many boxes can you remove? 1. The 1m on this side can be subtracted. Minus m minus m. Then we're back to the simple equation, m equals 3. Again, we have 6g minus 3 equals 2g plus 9. The first thing you do, you have to add this 3. 3 marbles fell out, you need to add them back. So add 3 to both sides, giving you 6g. This crosses out, and then these two are added. So we have 6g equals 2g plus 12. Now how many boxes can we take away? 2g. We want all of the g's on one side and all of the whole numbers on the other. So subtract 2g from here, and whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. 6g minus 2g. This becomes 4g equals 12, and from here, it's back to the simple equation that we were doing earlier. Divide each side by 4, giving us g equals 3. Now, in number 1, what is the first thing we're going to do? Correct, add 3. We want to add 3 to both sides. That gives us the equation 4m equals m plus 18. What is the second thing we're going to do to both sides? Correct, subtract m. We want all of the m's on one side. 4m minus m is 3m. These m's cross out, giving us 18. 3m equals 18. M equals 6. Number 2, what is the first thing we do? Perfect. Add 2 to both sides. These two cross out. We have 6y equals 2y plus 20. What is the second thing we do? Correct. We subtract 2y from both sides. This leads to us having 4y equals 20. From there, divide each side by 4, as we did earlier. Y equals 5. Perfect. In number 3, what is the first thing we do? Perfect. Subtract 3. This gives us 6t equals 3t plus 12. What is the second thing we're going to do? Correct. Minus 3t. Subtract 3t from both sides. These ones cross out. We have 3t equals 12. Simple equation, as we were doing earlier. T equals 4. Perfect. Now in number 4, what's the first thing we're going to do? Correct. Add 7 to both sides. This gives us 8r equals 3r plus 30. What is the second thing we are going to do? Correct. Subtract 3r from both sides. These two cross out. We have 5r equals 30. This is the simple equation from earlier. We want the r by itself. Divide each side by 5. R equals 6. Number 5, the first thing we're going to do, correct, add 9 to both sides. This gives us 10w equals 3w plus 42. What is the second thing we're going to do? Correct. Minus 3w. 10w minus 3w, 7w, equals 42. These 3w's cross out. 7w equals 42. Again, we're going to divide each side by the 7. 7 divided by 7 crosses out. 42 divided by 7 is 6. W is 6. What is the first thing we're going to do in number 6? Correct. Subtract 14 from each side. 9f equals 3f 56 minus 14 equals 42 plus 42. What do we do now? Correct. Subtract 3f from both sides. This side crosses out, giving us 6f equals 42. We divide each side by the 6, so we have f alone. F equals 7. Well, that's the end of this slideshow. Okay. Okay, M1 is over for the day.
You need to go over the slides, or you good?
No, the next one's.
Okay.
That was the one I wasn't over this one.
Yeah. ดีครับน้องๆพี่เต้งเดี๋ยวตอนเย็นเจอกันฮัลโหลฮัลโหลเรียนเข้าใจป่ะเนี่ยฮัลโหลคุยกับมือพี่เดี๋ยวตอนเย็นพี่สอนรีวิวเป็นภาคภาษาพี่เต้งโอเคเดี๋ยวต่อไปเลขม.2 นะครับผมพี่เต้ไม่ใช่พี่ก้องพี่เต้คุยอยู่น้องๆพี่เต้ขอจะได้ชื่นใจไปแฟนเพจ Smart Curve facebook.com/smartcurve แล้วกดไลค์หน่อยนะครับพี่สอนนะกดไลค์กันเยอะๆโอเคใครกดไลค์ให้ใช่เห็นไหมพี่แอร์ให้ลิงก์ไปแล้วกดแบบปรึ๊ดกดปรึ๊ดจัดเต็มแล้วเดี๋ยววันนี้พี่เต้จะสอนเต็มนะครับสอนแบบเลิศโอเคเหมือนตอนซัมเมอร์เลิศอย่างเดียวโอเคเดี๋ยวเจอกันใครจะไปกินน้ำกินข้าวก่อนเชิญได้โอเคคลาสต่อไปม.2 2 โมงครึ่งครับ อยากเรียนวิชาภาษาอังกฤษกับพี่เต้อ๋อโอเคภาษาอังกฤษเอ้ยมีใครอยากฟังมุกเสียวๆภาษาอังกฤษบ้างวะพี่เต้ได้มาพักครึ่งอ่ะคุยกับมือพี่เต้ก่อนฮะมีคนหนึ่งเดินเข้ามาที่ร้านอาหารใช่ป่ะเดินเข้ามานะเดินเข้าไปใช่ไหมก็มีคนเนี่ยเขาก็มารับใช่ไหมเขาก็ถามคำแรกเลย What's up What's up เสร็จเกิดอะไรขึ้นรู้ป่ะไอหมอนะมันมองขึ้นไปใช่ไหมผมก็มองฝรั่งก็ถาม What's up มันก็ยังมองอยู่นั่นแหละเข้าใจป่ะมองท้ายสุดฝรั่งก็ถาม What's up คนนั้นบอก the ceiling เข้าใจป่ะว่า What's up คืออะไรก็บอกแล้วว่ามุกเสียวเสียวจริงนะเนี่ยจากสายตา What's up ภาษาอังกฤษคือ how are you นะครับเข้าใจเปล่าแต่คนไม่เคยรู้จัก What's up ก็คือ what is upเสร็จก็คือมองบนเพดานเลยไงอ้าวโหเพิ่งเก็ตอ๋อเพิ่งเก็ตมุกเสียวไป ไม่เสียวมีเสียวกว่านี้เองมากโอเคพักครึ่ง next to your school. You can get lost there. Actually, like on Sunday I just went and walk around, and there's a big pond, and you can feed the like gigantic catfish and turtles. They have a pond. Yes, they're very friendly too. I mean, the turtles would actually come out and like, you know, get feed.
I mean, the temple's so big, no matter what you do,
Just walking there, there's a pond right in front of the temple. I mean, there's a catfish like literally that size everywhere. Yeah.
I remember when you were telling me about the school, you were like, do you like temples? Because this is like school's in a temple. And
Yes.
there it's just like all temple, all around you.
Yeah. And then there is the temple in the same soil as your school. You just have to go down a bit further. You have to take that little truck taxi that they have. I'm talking about that one bumpy, the Wato.
I think I know what you're talking about because sometimes the cops take us two ways. If we are paying attention and we tell them to turn, they do. But if not, they go all the way around. And I think they pass the other temple.
Yeah, the other temple has the a $1,000,000 restroom, supposedly. Has air conditioning. Supposedly, but the temple next to your school has the largest sleeping Buddha statue in Thailand. They claim.
Really?
You can actually walk inside the statue and see the heart chamber. So I recommend it. 4-story high. You'll be inside the Buddha.
Right by my school.
Yes.
I saw a picture of this. Like right by the temple, there's a picture of a reclining Buddha. And I was like, oh, what are
Yes, the reclined Buddha. It's a sightseeing tour. You should take your friends.